Good Thursday evening to you. Glad to have you along here from the campus of Winnebago Lutheran Academy. This is WLA Girls Basketball on WLA TV. Glad to have you along this evening. Jordan King with you here in the campus of WLA. And it's the Oakfield Oaks and the Winnebago Lutheran Academy Vikings in a non-conference matchup, a matchup that has happened on both the boys and the girls side for the past handful of years. And is very kind of become a mini, out-of-conference rivalry. We talked about it on the boys' side earlier this year. They went to went to Waupun. Waupun, that's a game that the boys Vikings boys basketball team has really cultivated as kind of an out-of-conference rivalry. And this has been one that the Vikings have gotten the better of Oakfield over the last couple of years. But this is an Oakfield team that is coming into their own with some star players. You're talking about the likes of Stella Hoffman, Georgia Hoffman, both junior and a senior respectively, and then led by Lindsay Streeter, number 34. It should be a good one here tonight. Before we get into anything specific about the game, I want to continue what has been a big week for one Kiera Shea, the Viking point guard. This past Monday, just a couple days ago, became the second player in program history to hit the 1,000-point plateau. So got to talk to her yesterday, previewing tonight's matchup, and really nothing about tonight. It's all about the fact that she's a 1,000-point scorer and a little bit more behind the athlete that is Kiera Shea. Here you go. Getting ready to take on Oakfield here tonight, and an opportunity to sit down with the latest entry into the 1,000-point club for the Winnebago Lutheran Academy girls basketball program, Kiera Shea. And how does that sound? First of all, Kiera, how does it sound when someone says 1,000-point club, Kiera Shea?
It makes me happy because I've always wanted to be able to have 1,000 points, and as a freshman, I've wanted to get to 1,000 points, and I finally got to do that.
What is this program like? What does it mean when I say, like, what does WLA girls basketball mean to you?
It's so fun, and it just makes me want to continue playing here, especially with all the girls. I love all the girls, and I love being able to be by them and spend time with them.
You talked about freshman year, and I mean, over the course of your years here, you got to play with like Elena and Kaylee Fry and Riley Lair, and I mean, there's going to be. Were you here with Alyssa Lorenz at all? Was she you were
she
a
was
freshman?
a senior.
Just talk about getting to play with them, and did they set a good example for you in terms of goals that you wanted to achieve for yourself?
Yeah, I looked up to Elena a lot. She was just always so good and pushed me to be better in practices and everything. And I also got to play with my sister my freshman year, so that was kind of fun.
Have you seen a list of the top 10? I saw Coach Supernan tweeted that out earlier today. Some of the names on that list, you've passed Elena, you've passed Kaylee, you've passed. There's a lot of really talented names on that list. What does it mean to you that you're number 2?
It means a lot to me, and I didn't think I would go that far, but I don't know.
This is a hard question, and I didn't prepare you for this, so if you don't have an answer, that's my fault. 1,009 points is a lot of baskets, right? Is there any that come to mind that's when you're done with your WLA career, you're like, man, that was an awesome shot to make? Are there any that stick out in your brain?
Maybe against the North Fond du Lac game when I actually made all my layups, and I didn't miss that many layups that game. It's always good to make layups.
That was your career high, 33 points,
Yep.
and it came right after you got hurt late in that FEL game. So, that's a good one. What's the favorite basketball game that you've ever been involved in here? And it doesn't have to be here at WLA. There's some battles with Laconia. Obviously, the Waupun game from your sophomore year is one that stands out in my mind. When you had such a good game defensively, shutting down one of the best players in the state. What game is it for you? That you just sit and man, that was such a fun game to be a part of.
I say definitely a Laconia game because it's always fun to beat Laconia.
Any of them in particular?
No.
Would you so you go back to your sophomore year when you guys swept them for like the first time in like 14 years or something like that. Um, which game was more fun, beating them at Laconia or beating them here, knowing that it clinched a solo conference title? Which one was? Can you even split them?
No.
No.
But I mean, beating them in the pit is always good at
Yep.
their own
And
home court.
you had some more success there than pretty much any other WLA girl athlete has. You won in volleyball there this year, so kind of exercised some demons there. Who's your inspiration or like a role model?
I would say probably Elena Supernan.
Okay. What about Elena?
Well, I've always seen her like in grade school when I was in grade school, and I've always saw her, looked how good she was, and then I was just one day I want to be that good, and then being on her team was so fun, made me push to be a better player also.
Does it ever like strike you that there's probably girls in the Wall Association that look at you and say, "I want to be the next Kiera Shea"? What does that what does that sound like to you?
It makes me like happy for them, and like I don't know, it's cool, and I would love to help them in any way.
All right, last two questions. Number one, you know, you're such an awesome defender. What's your mentality when you go into a game? Is it like I just want to lock down their best player? Is it I want to make sure that I run the show for my team offensively? What is on the checklist? What is 1A for Kiera Shea going into a game against an opponent?
I say it's always defense for me because I love playing defense, and defense is more important than offense. Offense will come. And, just like locking her down, making her struggle, seem like I'm annoying to her.
All right, I lied. I'm gonna squeeze another question in there.
Okay.
Is there anyone that you played with here that you couldn't lock down? Could you? I mean, or did you just lock down everyone in practice?
I don't know.
It's all right. If they listen, that's okay. Because everyone that we've talked to, I've talked to Elena since she's come back, talked to some of those players, and they all said, I played a lot of basketball, and Kiera Shea, she's the best defender I've played against. So what does it mean to hear something like that from your role model?
It means a lot to me, and I don't know, defense has just always been my strongest. Like, if my shots weren't going in, then I just knew that I had to be a good defender for my team. And
Last question. Whether it's volleyball, basketball, softball, because you're tremendous at first-team caliber player at all of them, school, whatever, what drives you to be great?
probably my family and my friends and just people around me that help me out and just help me.
Awesome. Good answer. Well, Kiera, I appreciate it. Congratulations again. I know a lot of people around here are proud of you. I know everyone in the program, in that locker room with you, is extremely proud of you. It's been a blast the last 3 years to get to call your games here at WLA, and best of luck. What do you know what's next for you after WLA?
Possibly Marion.
Okay.
Or WLC.
You want to play sports at the next level?
Yeah.
Very good. So that's Kiera Shea. Kiera, thank you. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
There you go, Kiera Shea. And we're going to take a little bit of a timeout here, take a break, and come back. We'll have the Oaks and the Vikings coming up next. WLA TV, stay with us. I lied to you. We're going to stay right here and want to thank Kiera Shea once again for being willing to sit down and talk. She's a very humble, driven kid, does not want her name up in the lights. But certainly appreciative that she was willing to share some of her thoughts about reaching 2,000 points, some of her role models. It's crazy when you look at the top list of the top 10 scorers in WLA history. I mean, behind the Hall of Famer Steph Schmitz, you have Kiera Shea as number one, and then you got names like Paula Brower, you got names like Caitlin Keel, you got names like Jenny Herrick, you got names like Elena Supernand and Geneva Hewitt, back-to-back players of the year in this flyweight conference. It is littered with the creme de la creme, so to speak, of WLA girls basketball, and number two on that list is Kiera Shea. And I know there's a lot that goes into a scoring list, right? There's staying healthy, but there is production, that is at the very top of that list, and that's what Kiera has done over the course of her 4-year WLA career, is produced at the highest level for this team. And it was truly fun to watch. It's always fun to get a chance to talk to her, and just a fun conversation. All right, we're going to send it down to the PA, get you ready here for the starting lineups. That's coming up on WLA TV. Hope you'll stay with us.
Winnebago Lutheran Academy welcomes you to this evening's non-conference basketball game between the Oakfield Oaks and the Vikings of Winnebago Lutheran Academy. Winnebago Lutheran Academy, Oakfield High School, WIAA require good sportsmanship and education-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege with the expectation to exhibit positive and respectful behavior. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating the high ideals of sportsmanship is expected and greatly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you please stand, remove your hats, and join us in honoring America and those who protect it with the singing of our national anthem performed by WLA sophomore Riley Clavita.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed. And the rocket dragged of the bursting air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
It's time to meet the starting lineups for this evening's game. First, for the Oaks, a junior, number 3, Marissa Kotke. A senior, number 34, Lindsay Streeter. A junior, number 40, Allie Lamanska. A junior, number 44, Stella Hoffman. And a sophomore, number 45, Georgia Hoffman. The Oaks are
There you go. You heard the starters for the Oakfield Oaks. Before we meet the starters for the Vikings, I'm going to let them introduce them to you.
Evelyn Davies, Faith Lutheran.
Anna Truman, St. John's Silmira. Leah Tyson, Faith Lutheran.
McKenna Conkey, Redeemer.
Abby Cole, Faith Lutheran.
Lindsay Nell, Redeemer. Avery Superdan, Faith Lutheran.
Siri Kuski, St. John's Silmira. Audrey Schumacher, St. Paul's Mount Calvary.
Kiera Shea, St. Paul's Mount Calvary.
Those the roster for the WLA Vikings. We'll give you the starters in just a second. First, let's start for Oakfield. You heard the names. We'll give them to you again. A junior guard, number 3, Marissa Kotke. Lindsay Streeter is the senior point guard, number 34 for the Oaks. And then they have one of the bigger front lines you will see at this level with number 40, Allie Lamanska, a junior. Number 44, Stella Hoffman, a junior, and number 45, Georgia Hoffman, a sophomore. For the Vikings, their starters remain unchanged from a couple of games ago, and it's really been the same since the Vikings lost Siri Kuski. Expect to see Siri Kuski tonight, but not here on the starting lineup. Kiera Shea is number 2, a 5'4" senior. 6-foot junior Lindsay Nell. 6 foot might be a bit of a healthy estimate there, but we'll go with it. 5'11" junior Abby Cole. Leah Tyson's a 5'5" junior, and McKenna Conkey rounds out the starting lineup, a 5'9" junior. They're going to tip it off in the center. 2 Shea, 5 Nell, 13 Tyson, 22 Cole, 25 Conkey, and they're going to get things reset once again. Not sure what the call is here, but apologies. I was looking down to get our starting lineups rolling here, and they called an infraction on the jump ball for Lindsay, or check that to Abby Cole. So there you go. So Streeter's going to get things going. First possession of the ball game for all intents and purposes for Oakfield. Kotke looks underneath and a jump in the air and a turnover either way there. It was Lamanska who got caught in the air and turns it over to the Vikings. So a good start here defensively for the Vikes. And talking to Coach Schroff now, obviously defense is where things start. 1-3-1 for Oakfield, by the way. All that length across the middle of the floor. Hoffman, and Lamanska are going to be the 3 that go in the middle of the floor and try to hold the Vikings down from a 1-3-1 perspective. Here's a corner 3 for Abby Cole. These got to go for the Vikings if they want to have a ton of success offensively. Offensive rebound, kicked it out from Nell to Conkey, and McKenna Conkey almost caught in the corner. Now a 3-ball attempt from her. That misses. Another offensive board. Leah Tyson can't get it to go. A third offensive board, and Abby Cole is blocked by Georgia Hoffman. The Vikings want to keep Oakfield off the offensive glass, but that time the Vikings getting 3 offensive boards. Thrown away from Kotke. Here is Abby Cole. Kicks it to the corner. Right corner 3 on the way for Shea. Can't get it to go. Follows her own shot. Up with the right hand and gets fouled. She'll go to the free throw line as kind of a rampant pace here early on, and the Vikings looking to get the scoring underway with Kiera Shea at the free throw line. 16:59, just a minute in. Both of these teams average probably more than most teams do. First free throw off for Kiera Shea. Vikings average 65 points a game, which I got to imagine is one of the bigger numbers you'll see. And Oakfield at 58.2. Shea goes 1 for 2 from the free throw line. She starts the scoring for the Vikings. She now has 1,010 points in her career. There you go. Into the front court comes Streeter. Streeter crosses once, trying to hand off to Hoffman. That was Georgia Hoffman. Now lobs it into Stella Hoffman. Stella's the junior. Georgia is the sophomore. Stella's averaging 15. Georgia averages 12.3 points per game. Kotke looking for a back-cutting Georgia Hoffman. Now Georgia's going to go baseline. Get caught there, and the Vikings have forced yet another turnover. 3 possessions, 3 turnovers for the Oaks. Down the lane goes Cole. Can't finish at the rim. Good defensive transition defense there from Oakfield. 16:22 to go first half. And Lindsay Nell strips Streeter, and the Vikes are going to be up 3-0 as Nell goes down the paint for her first points of the night. High off the glass, and the Vikes lead at 3-0. 4 turnovers on 4 possessions so far for Oakfield. Kotke as the Vikings switch just about everything. I don't know if they're going to switch necessarily everything here tonight with the size inside for the Oaks. Rebound down with Shea. She's got Conkey up ahead. Finds her. McKenna Conkey jump stop, and she's blocked. That is the length there of Lamanska that altered the shot from McKenna Conkey. 3-0 lead for the Vikings as Georgia Hoffman sets things up. This is now Stella down the paint to Streeter. Streeter trying to post up Shea. Shea does a nice job. They kick it out, and Kotke's now got it between the circles. A double screen for Marissa Kotke. She's guarded tough by that is Leah Tyson. And another missed shot. Offensive rebound. Fought for, and That's a nice job. Good hustle by Abby Cole to win another possession for the Vikings. That was number one. When Coach Schroffnagel, when I just mentioned Coach Schroffnagel, thoughts on the game. Just, as open a question as you can get. It's really not even a question. Just thoughts on the game. He said, got to get the defensive rebounds. And so far they've done a nice job on that. But the Vikes are going to have to battle all night long in that regard. There's Siri Kuski back into the game for the first time in a long time since injury. Last game was the Laconia game about 3-4 weeks ago. Here is a Kottke three, comes up short. And skying for the rebound was Shea. But a little rusty there was Siri Kuski, threw that pass away. Here goes Kuski down the lane. Contact, battles through it. Offensive rebound, can't get it to go. Georgia Hoffman down with the board, loses control of it, but recollects. Outlet pass from Streeter to Kottke, and Kottke's going to just slow things down a little bit. And Hoffman's going to be out here near half court. That's the nice thing about, I've gotten to see the Oaks a couple of times. As Stella Hoffman has it picked, second steal of the night for Lindsay Nell. She's fouled. She'll go to the free throw line. Nell and Shea are tied for first in the Flyweight Conference. They average 3.5 steals a game per apiece. So Lindsay Nell, she's already got 2 tonight, right on her way to passing that season average this evening. First opportunity from the free throw line for Nell. She's got it. She's got 3 points now. Nell shoots it at a 56.9% clip, but she's a much better free throw shooter than maybe that would suggest. Second free throw for Nell is good. So the Vikings in kind of a three-quarter court man-to-man, and an offensive foul there as Shea tripped over Kottke's screen. And they're going to go back the other way. So 5-0 lead for the Vikings. And I'm not sure Coach Justman liked that call there. Looked like incidental contact, unless, I'm quite a ways away from that. If Kottke moved her foot, obviously that's a good call, but hard to see from up here. Audrey Schumacher's into the game for the Vikings. She has it here, short corner. Good ball movement, ends up with a left wing three on the way for Cole. Can't go. And a good rebound skied for from Stella Hoffman. Georgia Hoffman on the bench. Into the ball game is Macy Patton for the Oaks. This is Stella. Give and go, and stolen. Streeter with the give and go, but poked away from Shea. Ended up with a Stella Hoffman jump shot after Oakfield got it back. One-handed pass, good ball movement. Kuski looks across, Schumacher scores. That is beautiful basketball from the Vikings, and they lead at 7-0. Good start here for the Vikes. Schumacher is a very good defender, and she's going to get up into the backcourt and pressure Kottke. Give and go, and just as I say that, Schumacher kind of got caught watching, but Kottke can't get it to go. Kuski clears with the rebound, and she's going to bring it up for the Vikings. Look to the corner, that's Nell. Nell with the shot fake, goes around, through the lane, up with the right hand, can't get it, and fought for the rebound. Did Cole, got it. Back to Schumacher, same spot, same result. Schumacher's got 4, and a timeout for Coach Justman and the Orioles. A quick start for the Vikings, going to force a full timeout. We're going to take it with them and catch our breath here early on. 9-0 lead for the Vikings, led by Schumacher and Nell. Back after this. Back here after the Oakfield timeout. Oakfield finds itself down 9-0. Good start for the Vikings. And they're going to come out in a full court man-to-man. Stay in that, will the Vikings, and pressure here early on. Now, Oakfield did some of this pressure early on in the season as well. Some of the recent tape maybe hasn't shown that so much. Off of a screen, Streeter down the lane and a finish. That's a nice job by Lindsay Streeter. And the Vikings got to be careful of that as Streeter steals the inbounds pass, and she's going to try to go on a little run here for the Oaks. Here's Stella Hoffman, stops just inside the three-point line, trying to hand it off to Streeter, fouled by Shea. The first team foul for the Vikings as Shea got a little over-aggressive going over that screen. And maybe until Streeter hits a couple, you got to start going under that screen. We'll see. Here's Stella Hoffman. Hoffman rips through, working on Cole. And Kotke goes over a screen. It's a long two for Kotke. Can't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Lamanska can't finish. Tapped out to Kotke, so a third chance here on this possession for the Oaks. Lindsay Streeter's going to reset. Tipped by Shea. Shea steals it. She's got Audrey Schumacher instead. Loses control. Now got to worry. Kicks it out. Right wing, and Nell gets it stripped. Good play by Kotke. Stolen by Schumacher. Good recovery by Audrey Schumacher, and she traveled. Just needed the jump stop there. That's all right. The the pace got to her there, I think, as Lamanska will take a seat. Georgia Hoffman back in. And along with Stella Hoffman and Macy Patton, those are the bigs right now for the Oaks. Streeter runs the show, though. You got to run things through Streeter. That's what they do. Macy Patton, middle of the lane. Nice job by Lindsay Nell. She erased that one, blocked it, and stole it. Nell running the point on the break. Down the paint she goes. Good ball movement once again. Finds Shea, wide open. Shot fake there. Down the lane she goes. Blocked, erased by Georgia Hoffman. What a play by Georgia. The sophomore got that one. Here's Nell, looks underneath to Cole. Cole with a shot fake. Turns once, turns twice. Spin move, step through, and she scores. What a play, Abby Cole. Under control, didn't travel, and it's back to a 9-point Viking lead. 11-2. And into the front court comes Kotke. Kotke crosses over. She's got Shea on her. Shea blocks it. And is it tied up? It is tied up. Stays with the Oaks. Couple of Oaks coming in, Krista Sabel and Ryan Vielbig. And in for the Vikings, Anna Trewin, Evelyn Davies, and who else? Avery Supernan popping onto the floor there for the Vikings. And they will replace Shea. Check that. And the Vikings don't match up out of that. That's a two-pointer for Ryan Vielbig. And the Vikings did not match up well after that substitution. Here's Evelyn Davies. Davies, top of the key, that's Nell. Shea here on the wing. And Davies cuts through. Shea's going to run off of it. Here's a right wing three, and it's good. Lindsay Nell from three. She's got 7. Good start for her. Half of the Viking output comes from Lindsay Nell. Shea does a nice job and strips it from Vielbig from behind. And Avery Supernan's the one there to collect for the Vikings. They're coming back the other way. Shea into the front court. Crosses once, kicks it out. Top of the key, Supernan. Down to Davies. Evelyn kicks it out to Shea. Good ball movement once again. The Vikings got to be able to move the ball if they want to have a chance against this zone. That's off the front of the rim from Avery Supernan. And a good rebound on the far side. Check that near side from Sabel. And Sabel will get it to Georgia Hoffman. Down to Stella Hoffman. One power dribble and a fin. Oh, no, could not finish it. And Lindsay Nell did just enough to make Stella Hoffman uncomfortable there. Not many do. As I mentioned, averaging 15 points and 11 rebounds per game this season for the Oaks. Streeter was out for what seems like 30 seconds. She's right back in as Lindsay Streeter, the senior. Good ball movement for the Vikings. The pass and cut. And hand the ball off as well. Shea dribbled it off her foot and stolen by Stella Hoffman. 9:57. This is up and down, which suits the Vikings well. They want to get out and run if they can. Here's Vielbig. Oakfield's got to take a little bit better care of the basketball. There's the give and go once again. Count the basket and the foul. How about this for a spark off the bench for Oakfield? Ryan Vielbig. And she'll go to the free throw line. She's got 4 of the 6 here for the Oakfield Oaks, and I want to say she was the 8th person off of 8th player off the bench. We saw Sabel and Patton. Yes, Sabel was at the same time, so 7th, 8th person off the bench, and she has provided a little spark here for the Oaks. She's got 5 of the 7. Oakfield's got to take care of the basketball. Can't let the Vikings get in transition, and you got to find more quality shots if you are the Oaks. This is Anna Trewin. Hands off to Davies. Davies to Cole. Cole, nice jab step down the lane. Left hand finish is good for Abby Cole. She's got 4. That was a really intelligent play. Oakfield was so used to swinging around the top. Abby took one jab step and drove hard down the paint. Got it to go. Here goes Georgia Hoffman. Huge size advantage on Anna Trewin, and she can't get it to go. Rebound down with Abby Cole. Cole out ahead to Shea. Shea to the bucket, up with the right hand, blocked by Streeter. Offensive rebound, Cole tries to get some space underneath. Finds the wraparound pass to Shea. Shea with a long jumper, can't get it to go. Offensive rebound, fought for it, goes back to Oakfield. Nice job, though, on the offensive glass for the Vikings. The Vikings are smaller at just about every position. I think when Vielbig's out on the floor, maybe the Vikings can be bigger at one position, but otherwise not so much. Here's Stella Hoffman underneath, calling for it, gets it, and finishes. Nice play, Stella Hoffman, her first points of the night. And Oakfield's got to get her going. You got to assume if they want to tighten this thing up. It's a 7-point Viking lead. Here's Abby Cole from the dead away three and hit it. Ugh, because I can talk. 3 ball for Shea goes down, and the Viking lead up to 10. It's largest of the night. Another lob down into Stella Hoffman, who turns fade away. Can't get that one to go. And with the size advantage, you would assume you want Hoffman, but although you don't want her to become too predictable either. And she went with the fadeaway there, couldn't hit it. Avery Superdam brought down the rebound, and she was fouled, by the way. I think Alexis Lieba now onto the floor. Yeah, at that last juncture, back on for the first time here tonight for Oakfield. And the Vikings going to try to get Shea some sort of a break here. Evelyn Davies is going to run the point guard for now. Dangerous pass from Davies finds its way to Cole. Cole over a Lindsay Nell screen. She's pushed, no foul, and it's going back the other way to Oakfield. Push to the ground, no whistle forthcoming. I think they were saying that was incidental contact underneath, and Abby just tripped herself. Almost into a passing lane and into a passing lane. They will say that Anna Trewin poked it off of the Oakfield player and headed back the other way now. So nice play by Anna to win another possession for the Vikings. Evelyn Davies to Nell. Backdoor cut Supernan. Avery Supernan's first points of the night. That was a beautiful backdoor cut. The Vikings teach that from the JV level on. When if someone's going to overplay you, you better backdoor cut them. Here's Georgia Hoffman driving on Cole, bounces to Vielbig. Shot fake there. Tipped away by Trewin. Trewin goes in for another swipe. Can't get it. And Anna Trewin, nice job to force her into the waiting arms of Lindsay Nell. Finishes at the other end. Nice job, Lindsay. She's got 9. Vielbig spun once, spun twice. Anna Trewin kept the pressure on her and went straight to Nell. There's a screen. Got to call out that screen or Evelyn Davies is going to get hurt here. Here is Lieba now, caught in the corner. Gets it out to Sabel. Sabel with the cross-court pass to Vielbig. Backdoor cut from Georgia Hoffman. Hoffman spins once. Vikings triple team her, and she can't finish. Rebound to Cole. Up ahead to Supernan. She can't catch it. And stealing it is Vielbig. Vielbig down the lane. She already has 1-and-1. Oh, tried the finger roll. Couldn't get it to go. Vikes want to run again. Coach Strafnagel will never punish him for that. Nice pass. Extra pass from Supernan to Nell. Lindsay's got 11. It was a great look from Avery Supernan, and the Vikings are on a 9-0 run. It was 16-9 at one juncture, and the Vikings have just like that pushed it all the way out to a 16-point lead. We're going to take a timeout. It's another full one here in this first half by Oakfield. Back with more after this. WLA TV, your home for girls basketball. WLA girls basketball. Coming back out of this timeout, by the way, W7 Productions also in the building. So, there's your home for girls, Wisconsin high school girls basketball and volleyball and softball sometimes. They do a great job. But we appreciate you staying with us on WLA TV as well. We like that too. So here's Sabel on the drive. Oh, what a great pass down to Stella Hoffman. Hoffman can't finish. There's a lid on that bucket for the Oakfield Oaks. They've gotten some good looks the last couple of possessions. Haven't gotten them to go. Nell looks cross court. Nice pass and a finish for Anna Trewin. Beautiful cross court look from Lindsay Nell, and that's kind of the next step for her. The next part of her game, if she can become an elite passer, look out, everyone. There is Stella Hoffman getting the seal on Nell and finishing at the rim. She's got 4, but the Vikings are doing a nice job on Hoffman thus far tonight. Here is Siri Kuski, spins working on Kotke, and Marissa Kotke doing a nice job in the backcourt. Here is Shea, goes around Hoffman, trapped in the corner, bounces to Nell, over to Leah Tyson, kicks it out to Shea. Shea hit the 3, you bet. You bet Kiera Shea. She's got 4 tonight. And the Vikings lead is out to a game-high 19 points now, 30-11 with 5:38 to go. The Viking defense has been stifling tonight. Here is Nell guarding Stella Hoffman. Cross-court to Sabel. Sabel wants a triple. This one looks good, but it comes up short. Fought for underneath. And Siri Kuski ties things up with Ali Lamanska. Arrow to the Vikings. McKenna Conkey back in for the Vikes, and Liebenau back in, Alexis Liebenau back in for the Oaks. The Vikings have a chance to push this lead out past the 20-point mark here with a good solid possession and a bucket. Here's Lindsay Nell. I think one of the Vikings coaches must have seen something about the weak side on this zone. Down the lane, count the basket and the foul. Who needs the weak side when you can take it straight to the rack, finish through the contact? Nell's 2 for 2 from the free throw line. And the Vikings want to shoot 70% from the line over the course of a week. That gets them baked goods from assistant coach King. So some incentive there. How about that? Here's Leah Tyson in the corner after the Vikes got the offensive rebound off the miss from Lindsay Nell. Here's Nell inside the paint, going up against Lamanska, and a foul. Lamanska leaves her hands straight up and down. She thought she was in legal guarding position. Referee thought otherwise. Now goes to the free throw line. 6 team fouls on Oakfield, just 2 on the Vikings in what has been a pretty physical game so far. And the first free throw for Nell is around, down, and no good. Looked like it was going to fall for Lindsay. She's already got 13 points here in this first half, averages 16.2 points per game. That is second in the Flyweight Conference. Can you guess who's number 1? Here's a hint. She plays for the Vikings. Kiera Shea averages 17.5 points per game. Would be my pick for the Flyweight Conference Player of the Year, but I'm a little biased. Here's Lindsay Nell in the short corner. Kicks it out top of the key, Siri Kuski. Kuski with a shot fake. Dribbles over to Leah Tyson and hands off. Nell crosses once, kicks it out to Shea. Shea around a Nell screen, bounces to Tyson. Leah Tyson, shot fake back out to Shea. Shea with the rip through, down to the middle of the paint, kicks it out to Nell. Shot fake there, she gets to the middle of the paint. Vikings want to pass it into the hoop here. That is beautiful ball movement. A couple of times they could have taken a shot. They wanted the extra pass. And Abby Cole's back in for the Vikings. So Abby's going to come in for Siri Kuski. Vikings back to their starting lineup. Leah Tyson will key it in for the Vikes. Underneath, 32-11 with 4:17 to go in the first half. Shea's open in the corner. Tyson gives it to her. Bounce pass out to McKenna Conkey. Bounce pass to the near side, dangerous one to Abby Cole, who finds Tyson. Leah can't finish at the rim. Kind of a short corner jumper there from Leah Tyson. Good look, couldn't get it to go. Sabel being hounded by Leah Tyson now. And got to be careful there. Finds Lamanska. Lamanska puts the ball above her head, looking into Stella Hoffman. Can't get it to her. Here's Sabel. Nice cut by Sabel. Can't get that one to go. Comes up short. Rebound fought for. Poked out by Shea. Should stay with Oakfield. It does. Good call underneath. It was Shea who got her hand in there to deny Sabel, and it went out of bounds. So good call. Lobbed in. Sabel on the left wing, guarded by Tyson once again. This is Liebenau. gives it to Kotke. Kotke tries to lob it into Stella Hoffman. Hoffman has it poked away. Vikings doing a tremendous job with the doubling down. Down the lane goes McKenna Conkey, and her first points of the night make this a 23-point ball game here in this first half. Here's Liebenau, middle of the paint, straight up and down. No, foul. They're going to say Abby Cole was moving and brought her hands down. Nope, just on the body was the foul. And I think Coach Schroffnagel sees the foul disparity and kind of is going to let that one just go. When you've gotten 6 fouls and the opponent only has 3, or has only, but you've only been whistled for 3 rather, that's maybe one that you you just punt that one. Fight a different battle. And the second free throw from Liebenau is no good, so she goes 0 for 2 from the free throw line. Nice box out from Abby Cole to get the rebound. Cole now has it between the circles, guarded by Hoffman. Screens then for Lindsay Nell. Nell throws it into the hands of Stella Hoffman. Back to her. Down to the corner with Shea. Shea has Nell. Nell reestablishes. Kicks it back out to Shea, who wants the right wing 3. This one misses. And the rebound batted around. Nice job by Cole. And tied up back over to the Oaks. I'll tell you what, it is fun. I mean, I'm sorry. I probably sound like I'm blubbering around here, but it is impossible. It is so ferocious down there in the paint on the boards. I tell you what, it is. And there's a foul from Lindsay Nell. Mistimed that one as she was into the back of Georgia Hoffman. That's the 4th foul on the Vikings. I believe that's 2 on Nell. I got to confirm that. No, just 1. Okay, so I mismarked one earlier. I'm a little bit better at keeping track of points than fouls. I know that sounds kind of backwards, but. So that was not Streeter, Stammen, pardon me, to get it into the ball game. Haven't seen Streeter for a while here for the Oaks. This is Stella Hoffman. Hoffman gets around Abby Cole, tipped away by Conkey, and I think it'll stay with the Oaks. No, last touched by Lamanska. And goes back to the Vikings. Avery Supernam back on for Conkey. It was a terrific play by McKenna underneath. She got her hand on it, and then it deflected off of an Oakfield player to give the possession back to the Vikings. Crossing over is Shea. Shea hands off to Cole. Abby spins once. Good defense by Hoffman, and a travel by Abby Cole. Just drug the pivot foot before she put the shot up. I don't actually know if that's a travel. It certainly looks like it down on the floor, so I totally understand the call, and if I was in the spot, I would probably do the same thing. But it's probably not a travel when all things are said and done. Here's Kotke. Kotke between the circles. Spins once and gets it to go underneath. Nice play by Marissa Kotke. Her first 2 points of the night. 21-point lead for the Vikings remains. Macy Patton out to guard Lindsay Nell, and Nell's going to go straight to the rim after seeing that. And Patton was a little bit further off of Nell than both of the Hoffman girls have been when Lindsay has driven on them. I think Lindsay took that as an invitation to take the ball to the hole, and good things happen when she does that. I just saw Coach Schroffnagel as Nell hits the front end of this one. She's now 3 for 6 from the free throw line. I just saw Coach Schroffnagel just say, kind of point to the ceiling, almost like, when you're shooting this free throw, Lindsay, shoot it up. Get some height on it. Shoot it up. Get arc on the shot. And both of these looked much better than the last one, or last couple. Offensive rebound still for the Vikings after Supernan collects. Here's Schumacher in the corner, and Shea mistimed the jump on the offensive rebound on the near side. Kotke pulls it down and clears for the Oaks. She's working on Audrey Schumacher. This is Stammen. Stammen puts it on the floor, guarded by Shea. Back to Kotke. Kotke has Streeter on the far side. Streeter spins, goes around a Hoffman screen, and she traveled. Just before she could get rid of it, she picked up that second pivot foot. Streeter averages 8.5 points a game, 6.1 rebounds per game, 2.4 assists per game. Does a nice job for this team. Running the show from the point guard spot, and also a pretty good defender as well. Here is Abby Cole. This one misses. Little deep from Abby. Saved by Schumacher. Straight to Stella Hoffman. Stella clears for the Oaks. Hands off to Streeter. 1 minute to go here in the ball game. Check that in the half. That'd be a quick ball game, wouldn't it? Spinning is Streeter. Streeter gets to the rim and finishes. That's a nice, that's Hoffman. Apologies, Stella Hoffman. I've had better nights up here. Here goes Shea around a double screen. Gives it to Supernan. Avery to the middle of the paint. Up with the floater, can't get it to go. 35-15, Vikes still lead it by 20. But I think it's a 4-0 run. Yep, it was 35-11. 4-0 run for the Oaks, pardon me. That is thrown cross court from Georgia Hoffman through the hands of Streeter back to the Vikings. 30 seconds left. We'll see if Coach Strafnagel instructs Kiera Shea that he just wants one. Usually he doesn't. Usually he just says, let's find a good shot. First good shot in a possession is always the one you take. And let's not put ourselves out of rhythm just because there's 30 seconds left. That's usually the thought from Coach Strafnagel. There was a skip pass dangerously, and it's stole by Streeter. Streeter into the front court, guarded by Lindsey Nell. Kottke drives and can't finish. Tapped around by Hoffman and Streeter. Streeter, oh man, ton of contact underneath, no whistle. And yeah, well, you got to say it was blocked by the Vikings if it wasn't a foul. There was so much contact. That certainly looked like Streeter got hammered underneath. Streeter's going to find Georgia Hoffman. Hoffman turns, fires, almost good. Off the rim, left side of the rim, and it's halftime here between the Vikings and the Oaks. 35-15 here at halftime between the Oakfield Oaks and the Winnebago Lutheran Academy Vikings. That was a sensational first half for the Vikes, who are past their average, ahead of hitting their average here tonight, and they're doing a very nice job against an Oakfield team that averages nearly 60 points per game. They're on their way to half of that here tonight, so a very nice job from the Vikings. And but you can't write off this Oakfield team either. This is a team that can go fix a couple things at halftime, pressure you, steal the basketball, get second chance points, and they can put you in trouble when the second half comes. So 35-15, we're going to take a timeout. We'll come back and give you some of the halftime stats and figures here on WLA TV. Stay with us. Halftime here on WLA TV. Happy to have you along. 35-15 Viking lead over the Oakfield Oaks here this evening. Give you some stats here at halftime. 4 players have scored for Oakfield. Marissa Kotke has 2 points. Lindsay Streeter, number 34, has 2 points. Ryan Vielbig was good off the bench. 5 points for her as the 7th or 8th person off the bench for Oakfield. And leading the Oaks there in that first half was their junior forward, Stella Hoffman. She had 6. Over on the Vikings side of things, 7 players chipping in for the Vikings, which is, on Monday, the Vikes had 3 players score in the first half against Valders. 3 players scored in the first half. And it was Cole, Nell, and Shea. They're 3 leading scorers. A little more balance here tonight. McKenna Conkey, Anna Trewin, and Avery Supernan all have 2 for the Vikings. 4 points for Audrey Schumacher in that first half. 4 points for Kiera Shea in that first half. So the Vikings build a 20-point lead, and their leading scorer has 4. Good news for the Vikes. Abby Cole has 7 for WLA, and then Lindsay Nell, the leading scorer for the Vikes here at halftime, she has 14. Vikings lead was at its most 23 points. There in that first half, it is currently 20, 35-15. See you in 3 minutes for the second half. Jordan King with you here on WLA TV. Stay with us. Back here on WLA TV, we are ready for the second half between the Oaks and the Vikings. And I'll tell you what, Oaks were the first one out of the halftime locker room. Normally, if you got a 20-point lead, you're out there shooting early if you're the team that's ahead. But I think if nothing else, and of course this is just speculation, which is dangerous to do, but I think that's the respect that Coach Schroffnagel is showing this Oakfield team, knowing that they are as dangerous now as they were, maybe not as dangerous. I'm not gonna be that broadcaster that says something ridiculous and pretends like it's true. They're not as dangerous as they were on the first possession of the night because they're down by 20. But they are still a very dangerous team. They can come back from this. There's no doubt about that. Good start defensively as Georgia Hoffman slapped that one away. And the steal completed by Allie Lamanska. I don't know if they're going to give a shot attempt on that or not. Probably give one there to McKenna Conkey. Nice skip pass to the corner. Georgia Hoffman for three. She nailed it. That's Georgia Hoffman's game. Cannot leave her open in the corner. And it's 35-18. She starts to cut into this Viking lead, which now sits at 17. Kiera Shea wants to respond with a three of her own. That comes up short. Offensive rebound, Leah Tyson. Good ball movement back to Lindsay Nell. Top of the key, Cole. Abby Cole with the shot fake to McKenna Conkey. Conkey tries to drive. Nothing doing. Left wing three on the way for Cole. That comes up short. And Oakfield has done a nice job on the first two possessions to force the Vikings to an out. And the Vikings going to stay in full court man-to-man. This time it's a little bit more pressure. And the Vikings playing like this thing still is 0-0 here early on. And I won't belabor that point, but I think this is a good idea because these Oakfield Oaks are a good, solid team. Down the lane goes Kotke, and she had it poked away from Kiera Shea. So it stays over there with the Oaks. It was interesting on that first possession, the Vikings had Leah Tyson bring it up to maybe allow Shea to run off of a couple of screens. Didn't get Shea free. Oh, nice cut underneath, and Lamanska can't finish. Can she get an offensive board? No, she can't, but she'll earn another possession for Oakfield. Coach Justman really getting her team fired up here. They're clapping every time they go on defense. Very positive reinforcement there. That's tipped away by Shea, but it'll stay with Oakfield. Really impressed with, and this is my probably my fourth or fifth game calling that Coach Justman has done, and I just think she's done a terrific job with this program. And if this year isn't the year, I mean, you look at what they got coming back. They lose Stammen and they lose Streeter. I don't want to, sell those two short. They're important players to this team, but everyone else comes back. And, Vielbig looks like the real deal as a sophomore. Liba now looks comfortable out there as well. Georgia Hoffman, is comfortable out there because she played a ton as a freshman. There's Stella Hoffman underneath. She can't get it to go, but she'll be back as a senior next year. She gets her own offensive rebound and finishes underneath. She's got 8 points. Does Stella Hoffman, back to a 15-point game, and it just, second half has a little bit different of a feel than the end of that first half did. Here's Abby Cole screening for Nell. Nell goes to the paint, kicks it out to Shea, down to Conkey. McKenna uses a Shea screen, gets to the high post, looks Tyson. Leah Tyson dribbles to the middle of the court. No, she traveled before she dribbled, and it's back over to Oakfield. 3 straight possessions that Oakfield has held the Vikings scoreless and starting to chip into this lead. Actually, since it's been 23, I think it may well be an 8-0 run over the course of the two halves for Oakfield here. End of the first half and to start the second half. Streeter, nice job by Shea to have the hands straight out side to side, and now she's going to switch on to Kotke. Back out to Streeter, down underneath to Hoffman. Hoffman turns, fade away, can't get it to go. Comes up short. Good pressure by Abby Cole. Cole grabs the rebound, and she's this way from like a blink of an eye and down the lane, scores. And, Lindsay now was close to popping into a passing lane there. Abby has 9 points for the Vikings. Here's Streeter, hands off to Kotke. Vikings miscommunicate there, but they're able to get back to their man-to-man assignments. Here is Hoffman, Lamanska, and another great job by Shea as she doubles down and wins possession for the Vikings. Lamanska was standing out of bounds when she was touching the basketball, and it goes back over to the Vikes on that. Conkey's going to take a seat as Kuski comes back in. 37-20 Viking lead. Here's Kuski. Leah Tyson. Top of the key, Nell. Nell drives to the hoop. Nice first step and great finish with the left for Lindsay Nell, her first points of the second half. She is getting to her spots. She's got 16 after that bucket. 19-20, that's a big 4-0 run that the Vikings just went on to settle themselves down here in this second half. Here is Hoffman. Cole is doing a terrific job on Stella Hoffman underneath as she got her in the middle of the paint there, and she's drawn that matchup. She's embraced it. Here goes Kuski, baseline, and fouled by Hoffman. Stella can't believe it. She thought she was standing still. Yeah, coach once told me if you put your foot on the in line and they run you over, it's an offensive foul, or they have to step around you and step out of bounds. Here goes Abby Cole. Tied up? No. Nice play, Georgia Hoffman, and she's fouled by Leah Tyson. That was a terrific play by Stella Hoffman. Oh, no, I'm sorry. No foul. They're going to, Oakfield took a timeout, 30-second timeout. We're going to keep it right here for that timeout. Apologies. I thought that they figured out a foul there on Leah Tyson. Instead, it will still be Oakfield basketball, but Vikings still have yet to have picked up their first foul here in the second half of action. 14:07 to play. You know, kind of lost in the shuffle there in that offensive, or in that first half, offensively for Oakfield was the fact that Georgia Hoffman was unable to get on the score sheet, and she averages 12.5 points per game. Vikings, they did a great job on everyone there in that first half, but most specifically Streeter and Georgia Hoffman shut them down in that first half. Vielbig's back on the floor. I think she was a spark plug in that first half, trying here in the second half. That pass is a little off the mark, and Lindsay Nels brings it down for the steal for the Vikings. She's got over her season average of 3.5. Thought she might have drugged the pivot foot there. Here's a three for Abby Cole. That misses. Offensive rebound, Nell. Oh, that should be a jump ball. Are they going to call a foul? Oh, they got a foul there on Macy Patton. No way. That was, well. I've done too much of that recently. I've too much complaining. That was a tie-up, man. That was good hustle by Macy Patton. Here goes Abby Cole. Cole spins into the lane. Can't get it to go. And a late whistle, but a foul. And Abby Cole will head to the free throw line. That's the third team foul, I do believe, on the Oaks. That's Stella Hoffman's third foul. She just picked up 2 in about 3 possessions. Abby Cole's first trip to the line, and the first one is good for Abby. I will get the audio back rolling in the background there for you. Apologies for that. Always got to be careful with that because we've already had one stream this year torn down off of YouTube for the timeout music and the halftime music that plays. So try to be as careful as I can with that. So I apologize, but we got it rolling again. Abby goes 2 for 2 from the free throw line. She's got 4 second half points and is up to 11 on the night for the Vikings, whose lead is back out to 21. It's a 6-0 run for the Vikes. After an 8-0 run, I think is what we figured there, to end the first and start the second for Oakfield. That had cut it down to 15. 41 to 20. There we got it. And there is a nice job by Vielbig. Kind of withstood some contact there from Streeter. Vielbig goes into the paint and is blocked by Lindsay Nell. Here's Abby Cole. Cole down the lane. Bounce pass to Shea. And Shea, well, they're going to say Georgia Hoffman was straight up and down there. And swallowed the whistle. We're all right. It's a frantic pace here. This is a tough one. Here's a steal underneath from Siri Kuski. Shea's into the front court, looks to the corner. That's Nell. Trying to look underneath to Leah Tyson. Waves her off. Now drives. Steps back out. Oh, she had a chance to shoot the 3 if she wanted it. Decides better to give it to Abby Cole. Cole gets to the block. Spins in through the contact. You bet. That's a beautiful play by Abby Cole. It was tremendous defense from Georgia Hoffman, who got good position, played good defense, didn't foul, and it's just a better play made by the offense that time. As Streeter goes down the paint, top of the key to Vielbig. Vielbig now give and go down the lane. Nice feed, and Lamanska count the basket and the foul. That is, I'll tell you what, if nothing else, and Vielbig's made a few mistakes here, but the way she has initiated some of the offense and taken the ball to the hoop. I mean, they list Kiera Shea at 5'4" in the program, and she's taller than Vielbig. And just complete fearlessness from the sophomore for the Oaks. I think that's one to watch as they continue this year and then heading into next year. Ryan Vielbig for the Oakfield Oaks. She looks like a tremendous player for them so far. Just got the 5 points early on in that first half, and then didn't see her a lot to end that first half, but she's another spark here in this second half. It's a 20-point lead for the Vikings. Here's a three from Kiera Shea. Bounces around, no good. Thought that one was going to go down, and a strong rebound from Lamanska, who just had the three-point play. Here's Sabel in transition, and a good job by Avery Supernan. Transition defense, rebound down to Abby Cole. Cole jump stops and blocked. Great play by Georgia Hoffman once again. Georgia Hoffman has had herself a half here. She's hit a three. Has probably 3 or 4 blocks already in this half alone. Just playing lights out for the Oaks. So the tie up underneath. Arrow keeps it with the Vikings. Coming around a couple of screen goes Cole. Now Shea, top of the key Schumacher. Near side, Lindsay Nell crosses Streeter once and spins on her. There is Shea. Shea with the jab step back out to Audrey Schumacher. Audrey crosses over a couple of times, and it ends up with Avery Supernan. She's caught in the corner, stays with the Vikings. Hoffman poked it away, nice defense, but couldn't keep it from hitting that end line, so it'll stay with the Vikings as we continue. Stella Hoffman's going to come back in. She's got the 3 fouls, but with 11:09 to play, that's not really foul trouble here. If she picks up a 4th, we'll see what Coach Justman does, but getting to that point in the game where you got to have your best players out there, and Stella Hoffman is a tremendous player. Here's a 3 ball for Lindsay Nell. She's on fire. 4th 3 of the night for the Vikings, 2nd of the night for Lindsay Nell, and she is up to 19 points here tonight, if my math is correct. Here's Streeter down to the corner with Kotke. Kotke lobs one into Stella Hoffman off of her hands. Another great play made by Abby Cole. Stolen by Nell. Nell into the front court. Poked away. Good job in transition from Stella Hoffman. Tied up underneath, and it'll go back to the Oaks. Man, the Hoffman girls are fun to watch, as is a lot of, like I said, I think Coach Justman does a terrific job with this team. But they got so much talent, and they put it together with the hard work and the effort as well. Here's Streeter. Runs Evelyn Davies off a screen. She's free into the front court. Miscommunication there with Lamanska. It ends up with Stella Hoffman. Hoffman spins once, guarded by Lindsay Nell. Loses her dribble, bounces it to Georgia Hoffman. Georgia spins into the paint. Contact there. She'll head to the line. Good take from Georgia Hoffman. And it's on Supernan. Just her first. Vikings don't have anyone in foul trouble. Only had 5 fouls in that first half. Check that, 4 fouls in the first half. First free throw, no good for Georgia Hoffman. In fact, I don't think really anyone in this game, other than if you count the 3 for Stella Hoffman, no one in this game in foul trouble, which is better than some of the recent games we've seen where it's, I always say, obviously referees got to keep the game under control, but man, let's keep the best player. Let's keep the best players out there. And I'm not saying you figure out who the best players are and they can hack everyone. That's not what I'm saying. But some of the ticky-tack stuff that ends up with great players sitting on the bench. Anyways, here's Evelyn Davies. Vikings lead at 46-24. Middle of the paint goes Nell. Here is Anna Trewin. Trewin missed that jumper. And a nice rebound on this near side. Strong rebound from Lindsay Streeter. She's going to use a Stella Hoffman screen and smartly get her way into the front court. On the far side, here's a short corner jumper. That's Patton. Couldn't get it to go, but Patton follows her own shot and gets the rebound. Here's a 3. Georgia Hoffman, that won't go. Patton's got another offensive rebound if she can corral it. She did, saved the basketball, and took a shot. She's going to win a possession here for Oakfield. See if she's all right. She's a little slow getting up there. I don't know if she slipped when she was getting up, but a little tardy getting back to the floor there, but she's fine. She'll stay out there, and she's got a couple of offensive rebounds on the same possession here for Oakfield. Here's Lindsay Streeter. Spins into the paint, scoops it up, and nearly scores. Would have been an and one for Lindsay Streeter, but she'll go to the free throw line and try to convert there. Snell picks that one up, her third personal. 9:22 to play in this game. Streeter's free throw is up and good. Vikings have held her to 3 points tonight. She averages 8.5. Abby Cole comes back in, replaces Lindsay Nell. Second free throw for Streeter is golden as well, so Lindsay Streeter up to 4 points. Neither one of those free throws were anywhere near touching the rim. Both just straight through, pure shot. Here's Abby Cole. Can't get that one to go. Skying for the rebound is Kaki. She's going up the left side of the floor. Looks up ahead. That is Stella Hoffman. Check that, Georgia Hoffman, and Georgia finishes it. She's got 6. Avery Supernan into the front court. Behind the back dribble, and I think Coach Schroffnagel is going to take a timeout. Yeah, he will. And we're going to take it with them, as Coach Schroffnagel just wants to probably brush up on a few things they talked about at halftime in terms of what to expect here down the stretch. 46-28, 18-point lead for the Vikes. It's currently a 4-0 run for Oakfield. Back with more after this. Stay with us. Before we come back from this timeout, Viking wrestling down at Mayville tonight. Did not get a final score yet, but I would assume the Vikings, the score is going to be the only question about that. Weren't going to be many matches wrestled tonight. Mayville light on wrestlers this year, so WLA should come away with a dual win, but we'll see what we hear about the rest of the match. The ones that actually get wrestled, can the Vikings wrestle well? They've had a little bit of a cold streak here after a really good start to the season. And a tie-up as Kotke does a nice job on Kiera Shea, ties her up, and it stays with the Vikings. But really nice hustle there from Marissa Kotke. Ooh, Shea was close there to putting herself in a tough situation if they would have trapped, but instead the Vikings initiate their offense. Shea's got it in the corner. Through a double screen goes Abby Cole. Got to be careful with that elbow. They could get you for a hook there if you aren't careful. Here's Kotke. It is rarely called, but kind of an emphasis a couple years ago to get that called. Here is Stella Hoffman. Now Georgia Hoffman can't get it to go. Good rebound by Anna Trewin. Anna's out and running for the Vikes. Got a couple of Oaks bearing down. She gets it out to Shea. Top of the key three on the way. Avery Supernan. Yes, sir, you bet. 5 points for Avery as she hit her first 3 of the night. I'll tell you what, the last 3 games, she's hit a 3 in all of them. You got to respect her as a shooter. Here's a 3 from Kotke. Can't get that one to go, and Avery's there for the rebound. Nice couple of minutes here from Avery Supernan. Down the lane goes Evelyn Davies, and she traveled. Good outlet pass for the Vikings. Hey, how about that? I got reporter Alec Oberg. He's not a reporter. He's a 195-pound wrestler for the WLA Vikings. 51-12, WLA win. Appreciate that, Alec. Alec's done some games for us here on WLA TV as well, so maybe you'll hear him in an upcoming JV game, perhaps. Got some other kids that want to do it as well. We'll see. We got some interested students. I think it's a great skill to have. learn how to communicate, right? Tipping an inbounds pass away here is Kiera Shea. It'll stay with the Oaks. And they'll try once again to inbound it from underneath. It's Sabel underneath, and she'll try to lob it in. Gets it to Kotke. Kotke back to Sabel. And she passed it for Lindsay Streeter, who is screening for her. And Abby Cole's out ahead, finishes with the left hand. Nice take from Abby Cole. Right place, right time was the junior forward for the Vikings. There's Georgia Hoffman. Streeter wants it far side. Instead, Georgia dribbles to the top of the key, gets it into Lamanska. She's fouled and almost had her second and one of the night. Allie Lamanska. It is a 23-point lead now for the Vikings. This is tied for their game largest lead. First free throw from Lamanska is no good. Neither one of these teams, I don't like to focus on the negatives. Neither one of these teams shoot the free throw particularly well, statistically speaking. Second free throw for Lamanska is good, though. She's 2 for 3 from the free throw line. Actually, Oakfield's had a nice night from the line, all told. Here's Abby Cole. Avery Supernand off of a Cole screen, hands it off to Shea, top of the key, thought about the shot, now near side Cole. Left wing, she has it, which is probably the most dangerous spot on the floor, at least behind the three-point line for the Vikings. Here's a right corner three. As I say that, Kiera Shea. Right corner three, she's got 7. Kind of a modest night for Kiera Shea, but the Vikings have a 54-29, 25-point lead. Here is Kotke, lobs it in to Stella Hoffman. Bounces that one. I think it hit Kotke's foot. Out ahead goes Shea. Shea gets the pass from Kuski. Offensive rebound. Cole, you bet. Abby Cole is filling it up here in the second half, and it's going to force a timeout for Oakfield. It's a full one. The Vikings have done a nice job here in this second half to, they had to weather an early storm here in the second half, but they've done that well. 17 points for Abby Cole. She's got 10 of them here in this second half. And 19 points for Lindsay Nell. So 19 for Nell, 17 for Cole. Both above their season averages. It's Wall Night here, in fact. Wall Night, I don't know what wall means. I remember what Wasack used to mean back when I was when I was a grade schooler. But the Wall Association, which is the WLA Grade School Association, made up of, I believe there's 14 schools. Not all of them have basketball programs, but all of the grade school aged hopeful future Vikings are here tonight, and it's a great opportunity for them to see some of their idols play. We talked to Kiera Shea in the pregame. She says she remembers watching Elena Supernan when she was in grade school and growing up, and she wanted to be like her. And I imagine there's probably some Wall kids here tonight. Nice play, Stella Hoffman underneath. She's got 10, first Oak into double figures. I imagine there's some Wall girls here in attendance tonight, maybe ones that are not gifted with the most height in the world, that are saying, you know what, I want to be the next Kiera Shea. I want to play elite defense and frustrate my opponents. Here's a 3-ball from Abby Cole, and it goes down. Cole's across the 20-point mark here tonight with that triple going down. 59-31, 28-point lead for the Vikings. 5:53 to go in this ball game, and there's another miscommunication there, Streeter, but Siri Kuski had to throw it straight back to Streeter, and Lindsay gets to the hoop and scores her second basket of the night. She's got 6 points, a couple of buckets, and 2 from the free throw line. Abby Cole is the trailer here, right wing. Good ball movement, ends up with Supernan in the corner. Avery back out to Abby Cole. Heat check for Abby. This one comes up short, and Avery was out of bounds before she could save it. 5 minutes and 23 seconds left here tonight. Want to tell you, tomorrow we'll have a stream up. Apologies, but yours truly will not be broadcasting tomorrow night for the boys' game. Didn't have any PA announcer. So they said, you know what, we're going to steal you from one microphone, put you on the other. So if you listen closely, maybe you'll hear me. On the PA, but that's less fun than being up here, getting to talk to you guys directly. Or as everyone that looks at me from the stand says, talking to himself, which is okay too. That's kind of what I'm doing. It's kind of like talking to yourself, right? Something that pops into your head, you say it. Here's Georgia Hoffman, looks underneath to Stella. Stella, good skip pass to Kotke, who gets it out top of the key to Liebenau. Liebenau back underneath to Stella Hoffman, who finishes. She's got a dozen. Stella Hoffman is so talented. Her footwork down there is so good. And a great finish. Here is Abby Cole. Top of the key, Lindsay Nell. No one guards her, so she takes it straight to the hoop and finishes. Great take from Lindsay Nell. And she says, give me that leading scorer title back from Abby Cole, as she has 21 points. 21 for her, 20 for Abby Cole. 4 minutes and 23 seconds left. Audrey Schumacher's at the table. Here goes Georgia Hoffman. Initiates some contact underneath. Blocked by Lindsay Nell. No whistle. Hey, Vielbig back in as well. Ryan Vielbig for the Oaks. And a really high stack here is the idea to inbound, and I couldn't tell there. What do we get? Hit the back of the backboard. So back over to the Vikings goes the basketball with a 26-point lead. Here's Abby Cole. Hands off to Nell. Near side Shea. Schumacher's in the corner. Schumacher cuts through. Here's Leah Tyson. Top of the key between the circles, Lindsay Nell. Nell guarded by Georgia Hoffman. Close to a carry, but she kept her hand on top of the ball. Far side Shea. Shea with a jab step gets free and somehow gets that one to go. And Shea's got 9. Be the first time in quite a while Shea does not hit the 10-point mark if she indeed does not. Nice pass from Streeter to the corner. Hoffman, and that one hit off the top of the backboard. Here is Kiera Shea. Cross-court pass from Schumacher. Count the basket and the foul. You bet, Kiera Shea. That was a great look from Audrey Schumacher. That's not going to show up on, well, not on my stat sheet. It will on the official stat sheet, but not on my officially unofficial one. That was a beautiful pass from Audrey Schumacher as Lindsay Nell and Abby Cole leave the game. Shea's got 11 now. Chance to add one more at the free throw line, and then I think her night is going to be done. McKenna Conkey checks in for her last 3.5 minutes. I would expect those 3 to stay out of the ball game, and probably even the other 2, talking about Avery Supernan and Siri Kuski. Good to get Kuski some minutes tonight. I'm sure they were difficult minutes for her. Here goes Vielbig down the middle of the paint. 3 ball on the way. Can't get it to go, and McKenna Conkey does a nice job not to touch it. Ball back over to the Vikings. But I'm sure after the long absence that Siri Kuski had to endure, I'm sure she was happy to just get out there, feel the game action, and I'm sure Coach Schaffnagel also appreciated getting her a few minutes. Stella Hoffman going to check back into the ball game. She's going to come in for Georgia. Stella's got 12 tonight. Georgia has 6. Here's Anna Trewin. Backdoor cut from Evelyn Davies. Finishes at the rim. Nice cut from Evelyn. And she finished at the rim. That was a beautiful play. And a good find as well. I'll tell you what, Anna Trewin is a very, very accomplished passer here, and she just picks up a foul as I say that. I believe that's just her first. Yeah, first for Anna Trewin, but she is I'll tell you what, there's not a lot of sophomores that come in and now, don't get me wrong, she's had them get poked away or make bad decisions like any other player that you'll ever watch. But I'll tell you what, she passes extremely well, and they're not always the easy passes you make, right? Like, there's something about making an easy pass, but she makes those lobbed passes into the post very well. That was a backdoor cut through traffic that she just gave to Evelyn Davies. So very nice player for the Vikings off the bench just in her sophomore year. Underneath, that's poked away. Here's Audrey Schumacher, top of the key. Conkey's going to fire one away. That's a 3, and it hit that stanchion above it, so it's going to go back over to the Oaks. Vikings lead it by 32. 68-36. Streeter into the front court, guarded by Leah Tyson all the way to the rim, and she's fouled there. So Lindsay Streeter will go to the free throw line. Avery Supernan going to check back in. We'll see who she comes in for. Might be Leah Tyson, as Tyson's the final starter that's out there. Now Conkey is started as well. We'll see if Conkey starts when Siri Kuski returns, or not that any of that matters. I had that conversation the other day on here. Don't know if it was a boys game or a girls game. We make a big deal about starters. You get your name introduced, all that good stuff. But when it comes down to it, much rather be out on the floor in the last 5 minutes than the first 5. There's no doubt about that. Here's Audrey Schumacher. Bounce pass to Conkey. Between the circles, Evelyn Davies. Davies drives now, working on Vielbig. Gets trapped there a little bit. Got to be a little bit careful. Bounce pass straight to Hoffman. Stella Hoffman. Good defensive possession for the Oaks. Vielbig did a nice job as the on-ball defender to really pester Evelyn Davies there. This is Stammen. Stammen, top of the key, Liebenau. And it ends up with Stammen back top of the key. This is Vielbig. Shot fake there. Good extra pass to Liebenau, who's back to Vielbig. Minute 31 to play. Ooh, nice move by Vielbig behind the back. Stella Hoffman gets good position. Streeter with a nice pass. Hoffman's a little strong on the shot. Streeter's very pesky defender, and that's what makes her so good for this Oakfield team. She plays the bottom when they're in that 1-3-1. Now they're in man-to-man, obviously. So a foul for Vielbig, who fouls Evelyn Davies with 1 minute and 8 seconds left and a 32-point Viking lead. But if you got someone who's tenacious and got some speed, they're perfect for the bottom of that defense. Although she is, talking about Streeter here, she's such a good on-ball defender. You wonder if she might even be better at the top of the 1-3-1 zone. Kind of interesting. Anna Trewan's going to go to the free throw line here, fouled underneath. Not sure what the stoppage is here. They ran 2 extra seconds off the clock, so we'll put those 2 seconds back on. First for Trewan, no good. Second for Anna looks better, and it goes down for Anna Trewan. She's got 3 points here tonight. And the 3 ball goes down for Alexis Liebenau. And Evelyn Davies gets fouled in the backcourt by Vielbig. That was the 7th team foul, so it should be 1 and 1. Excuse me. So Evelyn Davies will have a bonus 1 and 1 opportunity here to try to get the Vikings to that 70-point plateau. First free throw, Skies, no good. And into the front court comes Sabel. Sabel caught in the corner. Finds Liebenau. 30 seconds left here tonight. Vielbig kicks it out. Sabel, long two. You bet. That's a good-looking jumper from Krista Sabel. Her first points tonight. She has 2. Anna Trewins into the front court. Vikes don't need to go at the hoop here. Audrey Schumacher is going to shoot it. And can't get it to go. Offensive rebound. Kicked out from Supernan to Conkey. Back to Anna Trewin. 10 seconds left, and I think Coach Stroffnagel saying no shot, no shot, no shot. It's poked away anyway. And tipped around, a couple of bodies going flying. Stammen's got it in the backcourt, and that'll do it. 69-41, the final score this evening between the Oaks and the Vikings. It was a game that I think the Vikings had a little extra intensity for, or maybe not intensity, may not be the right word, but respect certainly for their opponent, knowing that if they did not play a quality game tonight, there's a chance they'd be walking out with a non-conference loss. That was a very real possibility this evening. They played well defensively, played a really nice game offensively as well to win this ball game 69-41. Very nice job by them. So what does that do for these records? Oakfield moves to 10-3. That is 2 losses this week for the Oaks to Flyway Conference teams. They lost on Monday to St. Mary's Springs Academy and then lose tonight here against WLA. They remain 5-1 and lead the Trailways East. They're the defending champs in that conference. And now I tell you what, that Lourdes team seems to be pretty good this year, but Oakfield is no slouch as well. Don't let tonight fool you. This is a quality team. Just did not have it here tonight, especially from the shooting standpoint. For the Vikings, they moved to 10-2, 10th win on the season for the Vikings, and this moves it to a 5-game winning streak. They remain 5-1 in the Flyway Conference. They're second place in the Flyway behind 6-0 Laconia. Let's give you some final numbers here tonight. Ryan Vielbig had 5 points, 2 for Marissa Kottke, 2 for Krista Sabel. Had that nice jumper to end the ball game. Alexis Liebenau hit a 3 down the stretch. She had 3 points. Lindsay Streeter had 6. Allie Lamonska had 4. For Stella Hoffman, she finished with 13 points, and Georgia Hoffman had 6. On the Vikings side, McKenna Conkey finished with 2 points. Anna Trewin had 3, 2 for Evelyn Davies, 5 for Avery Supernand, 4 for Audrey Schumacher, and then going up to the big 3, so to speak, for the Vikings, Kiera Shea finished with 12 points. Let me check my math on that. 12 for Kiera Shea, that's correct. 20 for Abby Cole, and 21 to lead the Vikings tonight was Lindsay Nell. There you go. That is the final numbers added up. All of that added up, you get to a 69-41 win. Vikes led by 20 at halftime, expanded on that a little bit here in the second half. It wasn't perfect all the time, but it was a pretty good game for the Vikings here this evening. 69-41. Once again, thanks to Alec Oberg for giving us a wrestling score. 59-12. WLA takes down Mayville on that side of things. So congratulations to Coach Recker and that crew on picking up another Flyway Conference win. And I am Jordan King saying so long. 69-41. 21 from Nell, 20 from Cole. Those are the leading scorers for you tonight as the Vikings pick up a big non-conference win. Hope you'll join us tomorrow. I won't be along, but we will have a stream. You'll still get to see what is a very, very good performing right now. This is the time to get out and watch these boys basketball players. They got it rolling, coming off a big conference win against Campbellsport. They play North Fond du Lac tomorrow evening. Hope you'll be along here on WLA TV. Jordan King saying so long. Thanks for joining us here on WLA TV. Vikes win it. Good night.